Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
You buy a pair of socks, that's 2 socks. You buy a pair of Bombas socks, that's 4 socks. Because one purchased is one donated. Socks are the #1 most requested clothing item in homeless shelters. So when you buy a pair of super comfortable Bombas socks, you're also donating a pair. Bombas customers have powered over 150 million donations. So Bombas would like to thank you 150 million times. But we only have like 30 seconds. Go to bombas.com and use code AUDIO for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com and use code AUDIO at checkout.
Hi there, I'm Davinia Taylor, and this is Sober Awkward.
The kettle's boiled, Vic.
Great. Perfect timing. Just a dash of milk for me, please, mate.
Here you go. Shall we get started then?
Have you ever woken up on a Sunday morning and said, I'm never drinking again, and then found yourself waving $50 at a barman by happy hour?
Are you wondering why everyone else can stop at 1 while you head to a dodgy after-party with a weird bloke called Disco Dave? If so, it might be time to take a deeper look at your relationship with your reliable social crutch, alcohol.
On each episode, we'll investigate our own dysfunctional dealings with booze and find out if it's possible to stop this deeply ingrained habit before things get too messy.
Yep, we're going to open up a shame shed of humiliating drinking stories to help you understand why waking up from a booze coma each weekend with a kebab sticking out of your top pocket might actually be negatively impacting your health.
Hamish and I are here to delve into what it's like being sober, an unwanted warts and all look into why giving up those cheeky pints or putting down those mummy wines will make you feel happier, help your anxiety and mental health, and turn you into the most sparkly, authentic version of you.
Won't that mean I become boring though, Vic?
Well, Hamish, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm Victoria Vanstone.
I'm Hamish Adams-Cairns.
And this is Sober Awkward.
My guest today, I'm absolutely delighted to say, is Davinia Taylor. Davinia is a mum, an actress, 2-time #1 best-selling author, and one of Britain's leading biohackers. Some of you, particularly in the UK, will know her from her role in the TV show Hollyoaks, where she played the role of Jude Cunningham. She then survived being a partier in the London scene during the ladette culture of the 90s. A mother of 4 boys, Davinia lived through the struggles of postnatal depression after her first and would develop a serious alcohol addiction. She was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and prescribed heavy medication, drugs that she would remain on, perhaps unnecessarily, for almost a decade. In 2009, Davinia got sober, but as she said herself, she did not get healthy until years later. Her personal journey of discovery into biohacking was the key to her becoming the healthy individual sitting in front of me today. And this has sparked a whole new lease of life and career as someone who helps others take control of their health and happiness. Her 2 books, It's Not a Diet and Hack Your Hormones, are #1 bestsellers. She set up and runs a highly successful supplement company called Will Powders, and on Instagram, her 1 million or more followers enjoy free content that's fun, useful, and can only come from the type of straight talking that comes out the north of England. Welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Not at all.
On this glorious day in Sydney that actually does feel like the north of England. It's torrential rain, by the way. Joke shop rain.
Come to Sydney in January is what they say. Avoid the miserable, dark, grey early nights of the north.
I've got my big coat at the ready.
I didn't bring a jumper and I literally was like freezing my way all the way here.
Anyway, that's quite good for you. Thermogenesis. So it's
You're
good.
right.
Remember,
That's it.
Embrace the cold. It's going to do something for you. Resilience, fat burning, yeah, and also panic, blind panic.
Now, I wanted to say that the first thing about your story that struck me is that typically when I sit down with someone for this, it's okay, here's the trauma, and then here begins the alcohol addiction, and then they get sober. Your story, there is no trauma.
No, and I think that actually goes for a lot of, particularly women coming into the peri-menopause. They suddenly go, why am I drinking so much? And I've been writing my third book. There's quite an interesting development in mental health and specifically alcoholism, whereby people are drinking for the energy molecule it creates, thus feeding the brain energy. And that in itself will up the feeling of joy, happiness, enthusiasm, even to get through the mundane, like paying bills and stuff. So you could come in from a day from work, pick up a glass of wine, right, now I'll do the day-to-day chore admins, because boom, you've got an extra hit of energy in the brain. I've got a quote here from a new book. Sorry, excuse me reading out loud. But I've been looking at the work from a guy called Dr. Palmer, and he's been considering the keto diet for mental health concerns, specifically alcoholism. So he's been going into rehabs and things like that and putting people on a standard American diet, which is called the SAD diet for numerous reasons, and also the ketogenic diet. And what he's saying is when someone drinks alcohol, the liver converts it to a molecule called acetate, so ACETATE, which travels up to the brain to give it fuel. Particularly, it fuels the reward cells. There you go. So all of a sudden, the mundane suddenly becomes a bit more fabulous. I mean, it's like for me, if I go out and I'm with people that bore me, I know a glass of wine is going to make them more tolerable. So, so the boring suddenly becomes exciting when you have this fuel source. And basically, they're finding that the ketogenic group in rehabs had less withdrawals, cravings, and they lowered the use of benzodiazepines, which is standard in rehabs facilities. And they're now deciding, they're looking at alcoholics have a brain metabolic issue. They don't feel glucose in the brain like regular people. Right. So, it's fascinating. You don't have to come from broken home, trauma. I mean, you don't need because there's a lot of shame around alcoholism, because everyone goes, oh God, alcoholism, there must have something horrific that puts the listener into a place of, it's awkwardness and fear. Yeah. When you start talking about alcoholism. No, my brain it's a little bit, it's basically insulin resistant. And my brain vibes with this new molecule. And unfortunately, I've got addicted to it because I like feeling energized. And that to me is a breath of fresh air, because you don't have to go down all the, the regression therapy and everything, which takes a lot of time and a lot of investment. Hang on, I just want to bloody fuel my brain, feel tip top, get on with my day, even pay the bills on time, which is not my normal route. I'm always late, always getting red letters, but it's because I find it boring, Yeah. So I need to excite my brain, which I've managed to do using ketogenic, using time restriction eating, using hot and cold therapy, using nootropics. It all sounds a little bit overwhelming, but it's frigging not. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Because, for me, it's survival, but not just survival, actually, it's thriving. And actually waking up in the morning and going, do you know what I fancy doing today? And then you do it, and that to me is freedom from addiction. And I think knowing that it's a brain energy deficiency will give people a little bit more understanding about the wonderful world that is alcoholism.
Did you feel like, because I think being an alcoholic is isolating and it is lonely. And then when you enter somewhere like AA and everyone's sharing a story like, we've all got this thing in common that was we had trauma and that you didn't. Did you feel like you're falling through the cracks again? Did you feel like, God,
I thought it must be...
Do I need to find some trauma?
Well, I did, because I kept going to psychiatrists and doing regression therapy and hypnotherapy. And what was it? Oh, you must have suppressed it. Maybe it was a traumatic birth. I'm like, what the fuck? Traumatic birth? Oh, God. How am I going to figure this one out? Anyway, so when I read about this and started understanding about the brain and how literally every decision is made in the brain. Every movement I make during the day has already been decided in my brain, and how much energy it's got is whether I trip-trop to the fridge and open a bottle of wine, or do I trip-trop to the front door, put my trainers on and go for a nice brisk walk. That decision has been made in my brain. So if I look after my brain 101, I don't have to walk to the fridge. Not that I've got any wine in the fridge anyway. So for me, being able to understand that the metabolic issue in my brain, and this took 10 years for me to figure it out, actually just made sense. And I think there's a lot of alcoholics in AA would find that a real relief, because it is hard work to do regression therapy. It is hard work to speak to a psychiatrist hour after hour, you know, and to be honest, I find AA is a real relief because the shit show that goes on when you're under the influence, sometimes it's nice to hear other people's flipping war stories and you go, okay, then the guilt dissipates. And as soon as the guilt dissipates, then you can crack on with your day because guilt really keeps you stuck in the darkness. And that's where I think AA is fabulous. I mean, I struggled with AA, with a God concept and everything, but for me, it's just like, I just think of it as there's something that I don't understand working in the universe, whatever that is, I just don't even question it. However, I will still go to AA, particularly because I'm on the other side of the planet, plug in, just in case there's something subconsciously going on with me that might drag me out. I don't know how AA works, but I'll just plug in once a week. Hi guys, what's everyone doing? Hear a couple of war stories. But most of all, you hear humour in the rooms. It is very funny. Obviously not for the families that have gone through the trauma of an alcoholic, but the stories, the how you can relate to it, like being over Christmas down here, everyone going, friggin' hell, this is tough. People are drunk, people are boring. And boom, obviously the desire to drink is lifted in some weird, miraculous way. However, I think the missing element is some people just don't have the same brains as normies and they need more energy. And that for me is just great to understand. And it's like, okay, now what do we do to get the energy? That's what I want to know. And I think it'll particularly, like I said at the beginning of this, particularly women in peri-menopause, their brain becomes really insulin resistant. So chocolate bar or whatever sugary snack that you used to look forward to, you probably need much more of that now to get any sort of hit. And actually when you eat it, the joy is gone. It's the anticipation. And all of a sudden you're getting brain fog from it. And you're like, hang on, this isn't hitting in the same spot. So you start piling on weight. And then it's like, oh God, you got a calorie control diet. And then it's all about willpower. And that is not what I'm about. So my company, Will Powders, takes the edge off the craving for those carbohydrates. And for those, I mean, all carbohydrates convert to glucose when mixed with saliva anyway. So don't be fooled by everything being whole grain and whatever. If you feel brain fog, you might want to consider pulling back on the carbohydrates, increasing the fat, and try and becoming fat adapted, which is also known as metabolically flexible. So you can start switching from a glucose burning machine into a fat burning machine and vice versa. And the body just becomes a little bit sharper and a little bit more nimble at getting its fuel source. So you don't get the brain fog. You don't get it's like that feeling. I mean, if there was a word to describe huffing and puffing, it's to pull yourself out of that. And that's how I found Will Powders has really helped everyone, really. I mean, I'm not inventing anything. This is how we evolved as a species. You know, we are apex predators, we are human beings, and, you know, we always dipped in and out of fat burning into glucose burning. But we just forgotten, because I think as soon as you come off breast milk, you go into bottle fed, boom, you're into the glucose burning. And we do not stop, because we've got cereal, we've got toast, we've got croissants, we've got fruit juices, we've got smoothies, you know, and it doesn't stop. Pasta, cheese on toast at the end of the day, and a biscuit to round it off, boom, all you've got is glucose in there. And I think we've just forgotten. And I think the brain really benefits from fat as a fuel. Well, it does. Yeah. The brain is made up of fat and cholesterol, and it runs on electricity. So don't forget salt as well. Oh my God, I could dig so deep. But yeah, I'm just thinking, oh my God, I'm gabbling, and people are thinking, shut up, just tell us what to friggin' eat and get off, will you? No, I can hear the audience willing me to shut up.
I've heard you talk in the past about how you felt like you were always a dopamine seeker. And you were getting that dopamine from white wine, seemed to be like the drink of choice then. And it got to a stage where, like you alluded to earlier, you were drinking just to get the monotonous tasks done. Was there a moment when you realised, hang on a minute, like I'm drinking here to pay a bill on time. It's not just like partying and having a good time, and it's fun. Well,
my mum used to say to me, Davinia, everything can't be a party. And I'm like, Mum, it makes me feel normal. Because I tipped over that dopamine dysregulation so deep that my neutral was super, super low for your layperson. I mean, we're talking fear, shaking, not like the DTs, like jumpy with anxiety. I mean, the only hormone I could feel was cortisol, which is your most important hormone in the body, because that will keep you alive.
Yeah.
So when you have a dopamine dysregulation, your body will shut out all the safety hormones to prioritize cortisol, because it's worried that you're going to be attacked by a saber-toothed tiger. So that's a primal instinct to be able to run, get out of here. So you are on high alert. And I combine that with the IVF I went through, which was obviously they pump you full of estrogen and progesterone, everything like that to create a baby. When you give birth, obviously you fall off this massive cliff, and I'm just left with cortisol and a brand new baby. I kept thinking, there's a bus going to run into us, someone's going to snatch him, oh my God, he's going to choke. But this wasn't just like the baby blues, this was elevated. And the only thing I could think of that would get me out of that would be a glass of wine. I was just seeking some dopamine for self-esteem. That's what it was. It was like that confidence hormone, that get up and go. I was paralyzed with catastrophizing. And not one doctor took my hormone levels. When I was like talking about, this is what I'm feeling, not one of them told me that, oh, this is cortisol, this is dopamine dysregulation, your estrogen and your progesterone are completely bankrupt, so you can't make dopamine anymore. And no, they just said you're bipolar, because that was the trend back then. There was a lot of bipolar. And I'm like, no. My mood is consistently terrified. There's no up and down, mate. I am just terrified. And that was what it was. Literally, that's the end of that. And here is a ton of drugs. Yeah. And there was no root cause to it. I mean, the fact that I'd had IVF, which is amazing, right? We're talking like the pinnacle of science, yet they didn't do a quick hormone test afterwards to see what it was. So it's what might have been going on. And now, obviously, in hindsight, I mean, the numbers of women going through IVF who have postnatal depression, I mean, it's phenomenal. There's an obvious, it's obvious something's going wrong here, but you don't get scooped up. You actually get told you're a bit of a shit person. And why aren't you enjoying this baby? It's because you're terrified for them. And you're terrified for yourself, and there is no joy. You don't get any prolactin. You have nothing. My prolactin's super high, which indicates super low dopamine. They didn't look at that. They're like, oh, you should be breastfeeding because you've got high prolactin. No. It's putting me on edge. There's an interesting thing. It's called D-MER. So when you're breastfeeding and you get a letdown, it's like this rise in prolactin, and it made me feel like someone had walked over my grave. A terrifying, hollow feeling. Like another woman likened it to like the Dementors in Harry Potter. It sucks everything positive out of you. So it must do something to the oxytocin as well. Not one nurse in the hospital knew what I was talking about or articulated it. It was only a few years later when I started reading about prolactin, reading about its relationship with dopamine. And then I was like, oh my God, this DMER is really awful. They just made my baby go on bottle fed, which of course we know the problems with that as well. So it was like, these guys know fuck all. Fucking hell. It's every man for himself out there.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm doing what I do, because I am like an N of one experiment. But when I start digging into it, I'm looking at tens of thousands of women, and women affect the whole household, and no one's doing freaking anything about it. It's like, oh no, we've not got the studies. Did you know that they've only started using female rats in laboratory settings because female rats have a cycle and they're too tricky to monitor?
Really?
So only recently, male rats are fine because they don't have like periods, or they don't have and of course women are just considered small men. So they're just half the recommended daily allowance because they don't study women because we're too complicated and they don't get proper data. The big pharma, don't get me started on big pharma. But it's just like so warped. It's so warped. And you just think, you got to look after yourself. No one's going to look after you.
Do you feel like, so, obviously your experiences with those doctors back then led to a lack of trust in doctors, I imagine. Do you feel like doctors today are more on it, or is it on us to like take responsibility?
No, it's on us because you know your symptoms. We're talking about hormones here and they fluctuate from minute to minute. So your average doctor will just take a woman, say age, because obviously the peri-menopause starts at 35 in some cases. You start feeling hormones then. They'll take your blood on whatever time you can get an appointment and they'll go, no, you're normal. What the fuck's normal, by the way? Who are these people that says, and normal doesn't mean optimal. It just means average. Yeah. And last time I looked at the female population going through the peri-menopause, we weren't bloody optimized. We were flipping very ill, piling on weight, brain fog, panic attacks, memory loss, insulin resistance, but that's normal. So off you go and come back to me in 6 months. Oh, have some antidepressants.
Were you able to sort of, was your drinking prior to IVF effectively normal, in inverted commas, and then it was after that you realised, oh my God, I've got this rock bottom dopamine and need alcohol to feel normal? Was it as black and white as that?
No, because you talk about the 90s, which was the ladette culture
Yeah.
anyway. So we were already, I mean, everyone, even my mates who weren't on the scene, they were doing at uni, you know,
sure.
exactly what we were doing,
Yeah.
but the press were picking up on it. So I think the whole of my generation were at it.
Yes.
You know, there was a big, girls could drink in pints. You know, I remember seeing Zoe Ball on her wedding day. She had like a bottle of Jack Daniels and stuff. And there was Sarah Cox as well. You know, I mean, there was a lot of that was kind of pushed. So I don't think any woman really going through the 90s and the noughties drank normally. So, but weirdly, all my mates have drank more than me, and there's no alcoholics amongst them. So it's not about exposure. It was something else that was going on in my head. And it kind of, I start looking at me as a kid, and I was always a daydreamer at school. I was always the scruffiest girl in school. I come home with one shoe missing, late for everything. I never had any stationery, and it's just classic ADHD or ADD really, because I wasn't hyper, but I'd disappear into my own little world, and I'd, Davinia, pay attention, or I'd be a chatterbox. And I would disrupt everyone because I needed to liven my brain up, you know. There wasn't any medication or anything like that around back in the 80s. And as soon as I had the opportunity to leave school and literally join the circus and go and become an actor, I did. You know, so I'm walking out my A-levels right now, and people are like, you're doing what? You don't want to go to university? I thought, I couldn't think of anything worse than go to friggin' university. So, you know, the signs were always there, but we couldn't identify that when I was a kid, because obviously I was just a naughty schoolgirl without any flipping organisation skills, and must focus, must try harder, and, you know, stop disrupting everybody.
So someone will be listening to this and they'll go, whether or not they've just gone through a round of pregnancy or they have peri-menopause, or for whatever reason, they can't quite put a finger on why their drinking has taken off. They've gone to a doctor and they've been given the same advice as you know, which is sort of partly nonsense, but you got to trust them because they're doctors. Yeah. What are simple things they can do to research themselves, to figure out, what do I need? What's a test, or to test their hormones? How should they do it?
I think the gold standard in hormone testing it's called the Dutch test, and it's got nothing to do with Holland. It's just the dry urine test for hormones, right? Dutch. It's pretty punchy. It's not cheap, and you do need a practitioner to walk you through it. However, once you have that, you have a benchmark to see what your cortisol's doing, to see what your dopamine's doing, to see what your prolactin's doing, and then gauge what the dopamine's doing, because there isn't a test for dopamine. See what your estrogen's doing, progesterone. All this should be, boom, the first thing a doctor does, particularly someone who's just given birth and feels a bit on edge. And I think then you have to be your own, you know, you have to be your own sort of like barometer. You need to know when your trigger points are. You need to know, and bloody hell, map your cycle. In fact, there's a new device. I love a device that's cheaper than the Dutch test, and it's called Myra. And it's like a little round egg-shaped unit, and you stuff it. It looks like a pregnancy stick, and you you wee on one of those every morning, and you can track your cycle. It only does progesterone, luteinizing hormone, estrogen, and FSH. However, I can see this company doing the lot soon, you know, because it shows you what you're metabolizing out, not your blood. It shows you what your body's using, which is really fascinating. And someone just sent me another thing for cortisol that you blow into, and it'll test I'll find it, I'll give you the links and everything to put in the show notes. But it's like you blow into a device and it'll give you your cortisol and your progesterone. And I see on the horizon really, really valuable pieces of tech for women to just know that minute what's going on. So you book an appointment with your doctor, you're talking 3 weeks time, where are you in your cycle? What's just happened this morning? Did you sleep okay? It's all bullshit getting and being told it's normal and you need to, it's all in your head. I mean, talking about gaslighting. So yeah, you need to start looking at tech to help you, because it's brilliant. And then even just understanding, do you know what? I had anxiety because my progesterone's on the floor. Interesting. Maybe we get some HRT for that, or use some precursors for progesterone. You know, there's loads of plants and everything I mentioned in my second book, plants and herbs and things that you can take to boost your natural your body's ability to make a soothing hormone like progesterone or an energizing neuroprotective hormone like estrogen, and to detox toxic xenoestrogens, which even men are exposed to, which cause man boobs, brain fog, mood swings. You know, we need to be able to take certain things like sulforaphane or even a stronger, which is called DIM, D-I-M, which will get rid of toxic estrogens via the liver and get it into the bloody toilet where it all belongs. Because drinking water out of plastic will boost it, will literally increase estrogen in men, women and children. And you don't want that. Yeah. We all need clean estrogen. We all need decent testosterone. Would you, by the way, did you know that women make more testosterone than estrogen? However, it's still deemed a male hormone.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. And if you're in the UK and you're struggling to get HRT from your doctor, well, testosterone HRT from your doctor, simply say you're not being able to satisfy your husband in the bedroom because your libido's on the floor, and he'll give it you.
Really?
So welcome to 1959, guys. So just say that, even if you've got no intention of doing anything in the bedroom, that's how you get your testosterone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good tip. Good
Ridiculous.
tip. Isn't it?
Ridiculous.
Insane.
I mean, some doctors are coming around to the idea that women do actually need testosterone. Yeah. Wow. No shit, Sherlock. Because it helps you fat burn, it's confidence, it gives you competitiveness with yourself. So you go, do you know what? I might just try and do a bit more of a 15-minute walk rather than a 10-minute walk today. That's the hormone we need when we're fighting through perimenopause. Confidence, self-motivation, and fat burning. But no, that's just for the bros, apparently, according to...
Wild.
It's crazy.
A lot of people will get sober and then they sort of assume that that will take care of the rest of their life. You know, like, alcohol was my problem, and now I'm sober, so I should be good. Yeah. I've heard you say you were sober, but you were not healthy.
Yeah.
Until your mum got sick, and then that sort of kick-started this whole passion that you now clearly have. Yeah. What was sober but not healthy for you?
Oh, granola.
One word, granola.
Granola. In all sorts of formats,
Yeah.
be it in a bread sandwich. I mean, literally so many grains.
Yeah.
So much low fat. Like I said right at the beginning, fat is fuel for our brains. I didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I cross-addicted to carbohydrates. I was just having them since being a tiny tot, you know. And I didn't know that. It doesn't work with my body that well because boom, it kicks off a craving for more. So if I start my day with like just a granola, low sugar granola, I can guarantee, say it's 7 o'clock in the morning, I have that, I can guarantee by 10 o'clock, I am seeking a sandwich.
Thank you for calling the Bombas Comfort Line. Bombas make socks, slippers, tees, and underwear made with the highest quality materials. Press 1 for comfort, 2 for style, 3 for donation. You chose style. Bombas has styles for whatever you enjoy. You can run in Bombas, lounge in Bombas, dress them up, dress them down, but always give back in Bombas. Because with every item purchased, another is donated. Bombas, comfort worth calling for. Go to bombas.com/audio and use code AUDIO for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com and use code AUDIO.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
Possibly a bag of crisps. By the end of the day, I'm going to be on a Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even just a Chinese takeaway. I will be on a full, massive bowl of pasta. I will be, it kind of like is a gateway drug.
Yeah, it's a domino, right?
It is the domino effect, you know, and it's like that first bite does the damage. It's like that first drink does the damage because be it in 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, I'm going to be back to look into my next hit. The next hit of carbohydrates, my next hit of wine, my next hit and by the way, the hit gets more and more mundane, so you're going to pep it up a bit more, and that's how we work, you know. I mean, we've got bodies that can make carbohydrates throughout the day. I have them at night. I've got something to look forward to, so I will have a pizza. I mean, I'm trying to do sourdough because the reason why sourdough's a bit better for you is when that dough is fermented, it breaks down the gluten molecule, and the gluten molecule is quite inflammatory to everyone, not just celiacs, to everyone, and can cause bloating and a bit of brain fog. However, once it's been broken down, like a 48-hour ferment sourdough, is fine. But don't forget, you will still store it as body fat. So it's not like, quick, eat a loaf of it, which I can sometimes do. However, it's just less inflammatory. And that's what I'm about, So I can look forward to a lovely roast dinner with some sourdough to mop up the gravy, loads of butter, cozy. And guess what? Straight after that, I hit a carb coma. Fabulous. It's nighttime. I'm not in the office. I don't have to think. I don't have to pick the kids up from school and do homework or anything. It's the appropriate time to get cozy, flick on the telly, go to sleep, ride the carb coma to bed. Keto during the day, bit carby at night, apart from this January where I'm doing carnivore. Yeah. But it's hacking your brain again. And weirdly, my alcoholic brain would always look forward to a glass of wine at night. Now I look forward to bloody sourdough. I know. Good God. Right? What a knob. But anyway, and this is how you reframe the reward system. And you get a little, oh God, I'm going to have tonight. And that's great. Yeah. But it's like pulling it back from the high dopamine to a more cozy, more appropriate dopamine hit that trickles down into a carb coma, and you have a great restful sleep, Yeah. And for me, it's all about getting restorative sleep. So those people, getting back to your point about wine and stuff, you have one glass of wine at night, you're not going to hit REM. Sorry, you're not. So that's, everything in moderation is bullshit. That's just to get out of jail free card for all doctors and all food people, all dietitians. It's bullshit. Everything in moderation. What, an addictive substance? What, like sugar? Brilliant, thanks doc. So now you're going to make me feel like a loser when you're meant to have half of a biscuit because that's the actual amount, it is pure gaslighting. I can't stand those guys. Everything in moderation. You see them on TV all the time. I'm like, well, I wouldn't be mates with you. Yeah. If you can moderate, I wouldn't be mates with you.
Oh, the people that tell me just a little bit of red wine's good for you. They're the ones that trigger me. They're the ones. It's not. I've had arguments with doctors about it. I know.
Everyone in Italy does it. They fucking don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
But we have so many people get in touch with us who go, I don't understand. I've been sober for 3 months and I've ballooned in weight and I'm eating sugar and I'm getting cravings. I'm more miserable than I was before. And all of my motivation's gone and I'm miserable. For you, it was your mum got sick and then you effectively, that kickstarted this interest in, I've heard you describe it as saying, fix your gut fixes your brain will fix your addiction. Yeah. Explain that.
Well, actually it's a triangulation. So you've got your liver, gut and brain. And as we all know, a hangover means your liver's sluggish and that really affects your brain. You're gormless, you can't be bothered, you're short-tempered, you've got zero creativity and all you want to do is get the day over and done with so you feel better. Now, bearing in mind, one glass of alcohol will take 5 days to clear the liver. No matter who you think you are, no matter how healthy you think you are impacting your brain from the liver-brain axis. When it comes to your gut, think about hand sanitizer, right? It's alcohol. That kills all bacteria. You're drinking that. And we're starting in the mouth. So in the mouth, you've got things called neuropods, which detect amino acids. And that sends a message immediately to your brain. So amino acids and bacteria and stuff that enter your mouth, and within an electrical pulse, your brain will detect what you've eaten, what's in there. Are you getting joy? So this happens with alcohol as well. So straight away, your gut is impacted the minute it goes into your mouth. Not just your gut, because everyone thinks your gut is your tummy. No, you've got all your esophagus with all these receptors right the way down that you are stripping with alcohol. You're killing all the good bacteria with every sip. And that, of course, is an ideal for the gut brain because we make serotonin in the gut. We make dopamine, that we make all our cozy hormones, and we don't even understand it properly. But basic science says to you, you've got alcohol, which will kill all bacteria. Like we knew in the pandemic, everyone had that bloody gel. And that is going to start stripping away your receptors from your mouth down. And just think about that for a minute. One glass of wine, is it fucking worth it? To have to repopulate your gut? I just drink gallons of kombucha now, this is good, but you're not going to get the dopamine hit or that energy from the wine because you need to reframe that for something else. You need to rebalance your dopamine, which literally after 5 days, you should start feeling a little bit more hope. However, if you're just cross-addicting to sugar, which by the way, rehab facilities tell you to do, take a handful of sweets out with you, which I understand because it's give up your addictions in the order in which they're going to kill you. However, you got to start coming back to a ketogenic way of living, and that will give you the buzz.
So many people will go, I've got sober. Sober is about not drinking alcohol. What's food got to do with it? You have obviously gone deep into food has got an enormous amount to do with you going sober.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have relapsed before you made that connection? Do you think if you'd carried on being sober but unhealthy,
it just would have been less exciting. I wouldn't have had as much energy. I certainly wouldn't have had as much confidence because I'm sluggish. Like I said, when you got a hangover, you have no creativity. I want to use my brain as it was intended to be. Like everyone's intended to be creative, confident, funny, kind. All the usual human traits that you want to exploit that we have available to us. I don't want to dampen that down with brain fog caused by freaking processed carbs and regular carbs, actually, because it makes me feel less than and flatline. They're feeling flatline. That flatline is fucking hell.
Yeah.
It's hell to be sober and flat. Awful. They've got to start looking at ketone as an energy source because that is probably what they're like. I circle back to what I said right at the beginning. A keto, and you can buy ketones, by the way. You don't have to do 5 days of frigging fasting. You can buy exogenous ketones. There's a great company called Delta G out of Oxford University. It's a punchy price, but boom, that'll fast track you into ketones, really into ketosis really quick. You don't have to do the white knuckling or anything. I mean, I drink gallons of MCT oil. That bypasses the digestive system, hits the liver, converts to a ketone, just like alcohol did. And boom, wallop, straight up through the bloodstream to your brain. Immediate fuel for your brain that it's been screaming out for since you were little. I mean, kids, do you remember when you were little, you go out and you play for like 12 hours and you wouldn't dare go home, even for a glass of water, because your mum would say, right, you're staying in now. Yeah. We were in pure ketosis then. Running around, I used to just like knock and run. I mean, I was a pain in the arse, I'll be honest with you. Just trying to think about it now. Just very much a tomboy, always climbing trees and everything. Endless energy. I mean, drinking out of hose pipes and stuff in the neighbours because I didn't want to go home because my mum would say, right, you, bath and bed. And I'm like, no, but I'd not eaten all frigging day. I didn't get a hunger cue because I'm burning fat as a fuel. And we've forgotten how to do that. My kids, before they go to school, they have very little carbohydrates. They have bacon and eggs and a protein shake that I've developed that's made out of bone broth. And it's got MCTs in it and grass-fed butter. You mix that up with some full-fat milk, boom, they're on the way. It's super fast. It's faster than doing friggin' cereal. And you know what cereal is. I mean, we've all seen the shit show that's going on in America about Kellogg's, putting awful ingredients in there. And I think the FDA saying that, Cheerios is better for you than friggin' steak. I mean, it's so clearly conflict of interest and bought. It was very hard for me to come off like Weetabix and cereal and stuff like that because the combination, you're so inclined to have another bowl, and you whack a bit of sugar on that. And that's, that's no good. It's no good for developing brains.
Finding out the truth about cereal was like one of the great travesties of my life. Like if anyone asks me what my favourite food is, I'm always like, cereal. Anyone that gives up alcohol in the early days is looking for quick wins.
Yeah, great.
We're not interested in if I make this change in 8 weeks, I'll feel good.
No. You need immediate action right now within 15 seconds. Otherwise, you're going to open a bottle of vodka.
And I feel like you are going to be a treasure chest of advice for quick wins, whether or not that's a change to your diet or a biohack or like little tips and tricks that give you an immediate positive response in those early days when you're feeling lonely and sorry for yourself and craving and all that.
Okay, so first of all, it would be ketones, exogenous ketones, get them in your fridge. Ice baths, really good. That'll boost dopamine. Infrared sauna, for the love of God, the infrared sauna is amazing because when you're coming through that withdrawal, what we want to do is clear that liver as fast as possible. A regular sauna is great, but infrared is different because it's like a light. A light goes into your organs and you detox from the inside out, much like a microwave, however, not going to nuke you. Infrared sauna for me is brilliant. I've got a zip up one. You don't have to spend thousands and millions and trillions of pounds. It looks ridiculous. I use it every single night without fail while I've got Netflix on in my bedroom that you can't swing a cat in. And I sit there and I do my 30 minutes, then I have a cool shower, then I go to bed. Also, spike mat, really good for reducing cortisol. You get them on Amazon. And make sure it's got the pillow. You just lie on it and watch your body just relax.
A spike mat?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, that I've not even heard of.
Super, super cheap. Like, I don't know, £20, $30 maximum. I mean, you could get them on Alibaba for next to nothing.
And what's that doing to you?
So what it does, it You lie on it, right, on your bed, and particularly put it behind the nape of your neck as well, because what it's going to do is going to activate the vagus nerve.
Yep.
It stimulates it, blood flow and everything. And as soon as your body realizes it's not under attack from these little spikes, the plastic spikes, and if you slapped someone with it, I'm thinking if I was a kid, I'd probably have done that across the face, they'd end up with scratches. But just to lie on it, the body goes into high alert, and then within 5 seconds, the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. Parasympathetic means calming. So you're going to start overriding that cortisol that when you're first sober, that is what's going to take you back out, not managing cortisol. Speaking of cortisol, there's a great amino acid called L-theanine, right? It's found in green and black tea, and it makes you go, yes. I sell it at Will Powders. It's called Calm. Now, if you're in case of emergency, I'd open those capsules, I'd put it in a glass of water, and I would neck it. And I would see if I can reduce that cortisol by using L-theanine. It works on a mechanism by increasing a hormone called GABA, G-A-B-A, yes, which will chill you out as well, right? I don't like ashwagandha because it can flatline you. I think people should use it in case of emergency only, right? And another thing called 5-HTP, which increases serotonin, again, in case of emergency, and not if you are on antidepressants, because you could get serotonin toxicity, right? So speak to a decent doctor, and I say that, someone who understands the brain, understands, maybe an endocrine doctor, but in cases of emergency, anything but the booze, man. Do you know what I mean? Because you're going to end up fucking up that liver, fucking up the gut, and before you know it, the cortisol is, it is brutal. And know one thing, this too shall pass. You've got 5 days to clear that liver, and then all of a sudden, all your feel-good hormones can kick in. If you can see that light at the end of the tunnel, trust me, it is there. I was told I was one drink away from death. Yeah. I got a new doctor. So you do my liver count because he's a liar. Right? So, I understand the drag of alcohol. I understand because you're surviving. You have no energy in your brain to do life. That is what's happened. You are in survival mode. That's why you're not drinking for a party. You're drinking to survive and get through this hell, which isn't just boredom. It's now dipped into something that, I can still feel it. It feels like the devil has literally come through every single vein, and you just want to let it out, get what this withdrawal is hell. And sometimes you just have to frigging get on your knees and pray, give me strength. Whatever is out there that is guiding me to listen to this podcast, something is working in my favor. Just give me that extra 1% of strength just to tell me not to pick up, because 5 days is all it takes to change the trajectory of your life. And all these tools like the cold exposure, the infrared lights, the L-theanine, the 5-HTP, the ashwagandha, but be careful with ashwagandha. It's all there. Do not worry about early days of sobriety about carbohydrates. You get those stews down, you get the potatoes down, you get the bread down, you get the butter down. You might God get the butter down you. You need all those fat-soluble vitamins to refeed your brain, right? Do not frigging worry about that. We'll deal with that the following week, Let's get your hormones together. Let's get you feeling safe. Let's get you cozy, and let's share with your immediate family. You think you're in alcohol withdrawal, give us a hand, but don't man mark me, because it's your journey. They can't make you, no one can make you sober. You just got to know, right, I deserve better than this. This is a really grey subject, but people who are just drinking every day, if it doesn't matter if it's every day, every other day, if it's impacting your life and you feel flatline, it's not working for you anymore. And it turns on everyone. I don't give a shit. There's people who are like 80 odd who go, do you know what? I've done 80 years thinking alcohol was my mate. It was a frigging nightmare. I could have been this, that, and the other. But do you know what? I let that extra bottle of wine every other night get in my way.
Exactly. Yeah.
One day on, one day off. That is not moderation. That is controlled. Yeah. You're controlled by it. And it's a travesty. It's literally, I'm lucky because I was outed by the press for being an alcoholic. So my anonymity's gone.
Interesting use of the word lucky, but yeah. Yeah,
because I'm just like, people are just, they won't offer me a drink. And if they do, they go, oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, mate, if I was going to relapse, it wouldn't be with you.
True.
In this situation right here that is beige as fuck. No, actually, I'm on a flight to Las Vegas. But a lot of people still feel shame and guilt I think when we start talking about it as a lack of energy in the cells in the brain, then all of a sudden it'll be okay, no, actually, I'm looking after my brain here. I mean,
it's more forgiving.
It's more forgiving. They don't have to dig into, oh, what happened to you? Oh God, you know, did you have a traumatic childhood? No, I didn't. I had a really nice time, but guess what? I've got this brain that craves fat as a fuel, not sugar.
Have you had any close calls during your sobriety when you've nearly gone back?
Well, weird for me, and I think for a lot of people as well, it's not when you're on high alert. So when my mum was dying, or I'm going through custody battles or anything, I have got a lot of rage in me. Like most people, you got rage because of the institutions, you get rage because of the courts, you got rage because of the cancer, you get rage because of the care wasn't good enough. Rage is a very safe place for me because I've got energy in my head. I've got energy, I'm strategizing, I'm thinking, I'm fuming, I'm seething, and boom, I've got energy. It's when I'm happy, summer's day, trip-tropping through my local village, cozy, safe and everything, that's when the demon kicks in. Do you know what will make this better? A little glass of rosé because it's summer. And that's when you go, oh, hello. Even after 15 years, you go, flipping out, you sneaky sneaks. Still there. Hey, you know, it will try and come in. Be it some weird entity, but I find it quite funny. You go, right, okay. You can have me. There on my mum's deathbed, there's not a cat in hell's chance I was going to have a glass of wine after that. I just wanted to get home to my kids. But yeah, summer's day, barbecue, friends around me. Let's make this a bit better, shall we? Better? Oh my God. So yeah, that's when it is, which is really interesting. It's not in the sad times, it's in the glad times.
I've heard you say that you today see your addiction as a gift because it helped you become the businesswoman that you are today and have, spark this whole new passion. In what other ways are you now able to look back on your addiction as
I'm
a
really
gift?
lucky because I hit rock bottom at 29. It took me a couple more years of trying to navigate moderation and everything before I got sobriety. So I hit rock bottom really early. So I've had all my 30s, all my 40s sober. So if you're going to be an alcoholic, it's kind of handy to have it in your 20s because your body's going to bounce back. It's more resilient, you know. So for me, I'm really grateful that I hit it hard and came out the other side really quickly. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. And I'm also grateful that, you know, I've got no skeletons in my cupboard because the press, the beautiful British press, make sure that they tell everyone what a sinful, shameful shit mother you are who can't control herself and is overindulgent, etc., etc. So once all that's out, there's a freedom. You just go, fuck it. I can help people with that because if I share my story, I guarantee there's tens of thousands of women exactly the same and men exactly the same and go, hell, I'm just going through that. And she's done all right. You know, she's got her kids back. She's running marathons, which is probably a little bit of a cross addiction, I'll add. However, wow, what a turnaround. You know, literally, I had nothing left. Utter humiliation. Just not having the information that my brain was lacking in fat. Oh my God.
Simple as that.
Wow. So the more I can talk about this and the more that brilliant PhDs are researching in a ketogenic lifestyle for people with the same brain as me, which I'd hanker as a good 30% of the population, great. We don't have to live in shame and fear and humiliation. But you don't have to hit rock bottom like I did. You go, oh, do you know what? I mean, I watch my kids and I think, which one's like me? Yeah, I can see two very similar like me. And the other two, no, not at all. Not at all. Organised, meticulous and everything. And the other two, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what will happen to him. That's interesting. But I know what to do. I know how to fuel his brain when he asks me. I can probably help with everything because I've been there, done that. And there's no shame or guilt around it because that is what DNA decided. Let's hack around it and let's optimize those gifts. That scatty brain is busy doing something else instead of organising a pencil case. So when I was 7 doing that, I was already strategizing something else to occupy my brain, you know. And I think also, particularly, there's a lot of people coming out saying they've got ADHD, but it's not. You just got slightly, with the whole planet is on a spectrum. It's just which scale do you slip and slide up and down? And it changes as you age as well. You know, a lot of women suddenly say, oh my God, I feel like I've got ADHD when they hit menopause. I'm like, welcome to the madhouse. You're going to forget absolutely anything. Or you're going to have a great idea about something else. So, you know, let's rebrand yourself. Let's start a new career. Let's, you know, there's so many like let's start again.
Yeah.
And I think it's an opportunity. As soon as we understand our brains are on a sliding scale up and down and left and right, and you can hack around it and you can control the brain, what a freedom. How exciting. And you don't have to be a slave to what people think about you because you're proving them all wrong anyway. And who wants beige? I don't want beige. Beige is boring. Yeah.
I just want to end by thanking you for doing what you're doing. Like when I began to research you for this episode, one thing became very apparent, which was that the person that you are online is the person you are in person.
Yes.
Like you are genuine. There's no bullshit with you. But I'm always drawn to people who just becoming sober isn't enough for them.
No.
They then want to tell their story, want to create a company like Will Powders to
Yeah.
help other women who are going through exactly the same
Yeah.
thing. I sort of see you as if Andrew Huberman was a woman from England, from the north. That's you. You're like the British Andrew Huberman.
He and I are totally different. He had the staying power to stay at school and listen to someone else's ideas. I have no intention of listening to anyone else's idea. I am N of one, and I'll tell you what shit show's going on in my house, what works, what doesn't work, what you definitely shouldn't take.
Well, people that can't listen to him will listen to you then.
Thank you.
That's it.
Yeah.
You guys can work together.
I do listen to him though.
Yeah.
I do. I like the way he teaches, but I couldn't sit in a lecture hall.
I feel like both him and you, I think people will get to this stage of the podcast and go back to start with a pen and paper, because a lot of things that you're saying, they're like, I'm not going to remember that. I need to write that down.
And you don't
it's
have
like a different language. I need to remember
You absolutely don't have to. And by the way, it all starts really, once you start feeling the benefits, it becomes quite addictive. So if you've got an addictive personality, oh my God, you can harness it. And it is so easy. It's like osmosis. You will just start understanding words or just click. I mean, when I used to listen to, say, Dave Asprey, it was like listening to someone speaking Mandarin. And now I understand it, you know, and he's a really interesting guy. The trouble is a lot of the bros, the biohacking bros, are so bro-like.
Yeah.
You want to thump them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to have me there to sort of middleman it and go, please don't say it like that, Dave. Can we just like turn it a bit for women who have really been gaslit for fucking centuries, and let's say it like this, or let's implement this. And this is, and because I've got 4 kids at home, I've got an ex-husband, I'm always frigging moving house. I kind of try and fit it into what I'm doing, which is generally washing. I mean, you turned up here and I'm doing the frigging tidying up the kitchen because somebody, my husband, decided to do dig saws till 3 o'clock this morning as opposed to load the dishwasher like I asked him and turn it on so the place wouldn't look like a dump. Anyway, obviously, that's what I have to do.
True.
It still lands at me. Otherwise, this place would look like a war zone.
Well, there'll be jigsaws everywhere though.
Yeah. I mean, oh no, the jigsaw area is beautiful. You want to see the socks, underpants and everything that are upstairs that I'm going to have to go and deal with.
But thank you so much. On behalf of everyone who's listened, really appreciate it. I've really enjoyed it. And thank you for doing what you do, like I said.
No problem. I've really enjoyed it as well. And I could go on and on and on and on. And I'm sorry if I have.
If you're questioning your relationship with booze, you're struggling to moderate, or your hangovers are causing anxiety, it might be time to reach out for some support.
Yeah, just talk to a mate about how you're feeling, contact a local doctor, find an AA or sobriety group. Vic's got one.
Yeah, just head to www.cuppa.community.
Remember, if you're questioning yourself, it might be time to seek support.
Even though this journey can be awkward, it is definitely worth it. And if you've enjoyed the Sober Awkward podcast, don't forget to review it, rate it, and share it with your mates.
Do they have to share it with their mates?
Yeah, of course they do. I'm not doing this for nothing, Hamish. Bloody hell.
How do they share it?
I don't know, just write it on the document.
This is Hannah Berner from Giggly Squad. O-Pill is the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Let's be real, getting a birth control prescription is not always easy, and it's so much admin. In fact, about 1/3 of women face barriers to access prescription birth control. Between scheduling appointments, missing work, class, or just trying to exist, it's a lot. But now O-Pill is putting birth control in our control. O-Pill is a daily birth control that's FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen free, and 98% effective when used as directed. Grab it online or at most major retailers, no prescription or doctor's appointment needed. So if you're thinking about birth control, check out O-Pill to see if it's right for you. Use code GIGGLY for 25% off your first month of O-Pill at OPILL.com. That's code GIGGLY at OPILL.com. Birth control in your control. We love to see it.
Wix,
It's where website creation meets AI and where your boldest ideas become real. It just takes one platform to build a site that looks great and does everything you need it to. And it just takes one person, you, to start taking care of business like a 10-person team. With AI tools for creating an entire website from scratch or testing new ways to make money, Wix is there with you from day one. Try it out now at Wix.com.
Hey neighbor, celebrate the holidays with Birch Lane. Our timeless furniture and decor are delivered for free in days, not weeks. It's classic style for joyful living. Shop Birch Lane, a Wayfair specialty brand at birchlane.com.
So, as you probably know, my comedy memoir, 1,000 Wasted Sundays, is officially out. All my magnificent fuck-uppery in one awkward hit. If you'd like to get your hands on a copy, it's now available from all good bookstores.
We always say all good bookstores, don't we?
Yeah.
Are there bad bookstores?
No, it's probably ones with moody sellers.
Oh yeah, really depressed librarian folk.
Yes,
okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah. So there are probably some, but we're only storing it in the good ones.
It's only made it into the goodies.
You can also get it from all good online retailers. The print version and ebook are out now, and the audiobook will be available in March. I've been writing my memoir for 5 years. It will make you laugh, cry and cringe, and hopefully inspire a few people to reconsider their relationship with booze. If you love the podcast, then I think you'll love the book, even if I do say so myself. Hamish has read it. What did you think?
I feel like I know a little bit too much about you now, to be honest, Vic. Look, I really loved it. It was hilarious and surprisingly moving, but I feel like I've seen you naked in a literary sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's worrying.
Yeah. From an emotional point of view, seriously, it wobbled my teeny weeny wooden heart, Vic.
Okay.
My teeny little wooden heart.
Well, his wooden heart is broken. Anyway, so if you do manage to get your filthy mitts on a copy, please do me a favour and head to goodreads.com and give me a review. Doing that will help me get it out there to those that need a bit of sober support. So there you have it. My story, unwanted warts and all. Come and get awkward with me.
Not to be too demanding or anything, but seriously, go and buy it now.
Go and buy it right now.
Yeah, don't just tell your friends, buy it, and then buy your friends one or two.
Yeah, don't give them a copy, buy it. Yeah.
And you know what? Don't be careful where you store it. If you lose it, you can always buy another 5.
Buy another one.
Yeah.